You are watching special coverage of TVP World from GLOBSEC Forum in Prague. With me today is Micael Johansson, the President and the CEO of Saab, one of the largest Europe's defense companies. Sir, welcome to the show. So I wanted to talk to you, sir, about a number of issues, but let me just start with something which has been most in the news recently, which is your defense deal with Ukraine for the production of 150 fighter jets. So that's obviously a very massive order, isn't it?
Yes, and that is a government-to-government discussion, of course. So, and it's up to that number, as you mentioned, and we are supporting the Swedish government by ramping up our capacity to support them to deliver Gripen E Echo fighters going forward. And I think that discussion is going really well. So, but it's no contract yet, but it's going really in the right direction, and we're 100% supporting Ukraine to get the Gripen fighters into Ukraine. It will be a fantastic capability for them.
Is it the largest deal in Saab's history?
If it would happen, absolutely, at that magnitude, but I'm sure it will be in batches over time. But of course, it's a great potential for us, yes.
Okay. And who would be paying for it?
Well, it's a combination, of course, from, I mean, you know that Ukraine has been getting sort of this 90 billions now for 2 years from the European Union and European countries, and 60 billion of those 90 billions will be devoted to military investments, of course. So a portion will come from that, and of course there must be support from Sweden and potentially other countries. So the funding is building up as we speak, as I understand it.
What about Russian frozen assets? Are they also foreseen as part of a payment for that deal?
Honestly, I don't know that. That's sort of a political discussion to discuss that, but to my knowledge, that's not been mentioned so far in the context of funding it. But of course, I mean, that's an opportunity going forward. But I don't know actually on that.
Okay. So these 150, this is Class E fighter jets, right? We're talking about fighters which are not in production yet at this point in time, if I understand correctly.
No, the fighter is in production, but I mean, it's going to be continuous production and ramp up in terms of capacity, delivering more every year. And I need to underline that this is up to 150, and it will be in batches, of course, over a period of time. But it's a great potential, and of course we can manage to deliver those. And the Gripen E is in production, so it's not a new development of an aircraft, absolutely not.
Before the contract is signed and everything is carried out, will there be some kind of a stopgap, something to provide Ukraine with some kind of capability at this point in time?
Yeah, that is of course a question for the Swedish government, but I think that's sort of part of the plan to maybe support them with the existing version of the Gripen fighter, but that I cannot answer. I mean, that's the Swedish government decision to quickly get them some capability and then follow on with deliveries from us on the Gripen E. But we will see. That's sort of a setup that I think being discussed, but I don't know how it will end up.
Okay. Well, sir, I wanted to ask about Saab's capacity to actually produce that many fighter jets, because I understand that at this point in time, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think that you produce between 12 to 15 per annum. Right?
Around 15 per annum, yeah. But we're moving towards 30, of course. We have a hub in Sweden that we're expanding. We have a hub in Brazil that we are also expanding. And then, of course, we want to work with Ukrainian industry to make sure that we create sort of a support in the supply chain at least, and do as much as possible with industry in Ukraine. So, of course, we can ramp this up to the levels they need per year if we finalize this contract.
Do you think it's possible?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm convinced it's possible.
So now, part of the agreement is that, not agreement yet, but of discussions, is that part of that order would be produced in Ukraine, right? Or at least some components to that.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking to do that, of course, to get the supply chain to work with us in Ukraine. It's not clear yet exactly whether it will be possible to do final assembly and test in Ukraine. But of course, there will be industries in Ukraine involved in this, definitely. That's as far as I can go right now in describing the setup.
And you think that Ukraine have a, there are companies in Ukraine who can do that?
Absolutely, they have. No, we know that. They have several companies that are excellent in piece parts production and also sort of important components for the aircraft. So that can be done, absolutely.
Now I understand you've done something like that with Brazil,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So Brazil, the components produced in Brazil, which are contributing to the final product.
No, I mean that's a good example of how you can build a hub in another country. It is now a full-fledged sort of final assembly and test facility that we have in Brazil, but we also have suppliers that now contribute to the international market, but also the Brazilian market and the build of the aircraft in Brazil. So you're absolutely right. I mean, we built an ecosystem of companies in Brazil to support that. So we can do, of course, that in other parts of the world as well.
Now with Ukraine, we're obviously very close to home, but I still wanted to go even closer to home and ask about the contract that you are about to complete with Poland for the production of submarines. So where does that situation stand at this point in time?
In a good way, we are moving ahead exactly according to plan, I would say, having good discussions with the Armament Agency on the actual submarine contract. We are, of course, deepening our relationship with the Polish industries like PGZ and VB Electronics and so forth. And I think it will be a deep relationship between Sweden and Poland on every level, Navy to Navy of course, but industry to industry also. And this will be an excellent setup, having a capability on both sides of the Baltic Sea, the shipyard capability, doing MROs and yearly support and upgrades sort of in Poland, and also have the same thing in Sweden. And the submarines can be on either side to be always sort of in operations. But not going beyond that, of course, it will be other collaborations as well between industries in us and industries in Poland. So it will create a strong bond going forward, and we have excellent discussions with PGZ and VB, among others, right now. So I look forward to finalizing this, but I can't exactly say when, but it's going really in a good direction.
But just to make it clear, we're talking about a particular class of submarines which are not in operation anywhere, not even in Sweden right now. Blekinge, if I'm not mistaken, yeah? That's the name of it.
They are in production as we speak for the Swedish Navy. And if you go to the shipyard in the southern part of Sweden, you see a submarine coming together. So it's not in a development phase, it is in a production phase. And it will be launched to Sweden in a while. So it's not sort of a design thing, it's actually something in production, but not yet in operations in Sweden. That's true. But it will be a perfect combination, and using the same type of capability will have lots of synergies and create lots of deterrence also in the Baltic Sea. So I really look forward to finalize this.
Okay. And what would be the, you mentioned already that the Poland's defense industry would also participate in it. In sizable way or in symbolic way?
No, it will be in a sizable way, absolutely. I mean, to create the shipyard capability with PGZ, doing all the things and doing technology transfer and knowledge transfer to do all the continuous support and upgrade activities, including also potentially parts of the submarine, of course. That is a big step, that's substantial, absolutely. But we're also discussing other things with PGZs, like more in other areas, like mortar ammunition and sensor activities, and also supporting the Saab 340 aircrafts with industry in Poland. They are one of the warning aircrafts that now Poland is flying. So that it's expanding sort of beyond the naval side, of course. But we have lots of opportunities together with Polish industry, and that would be great collaboration.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
That was Micael Johansson, the CEO and the president of Saab. And you've been watching TVP World from GLOBSEC Forum in Prague.